After grinding a dungeon over and over, the Mask of Bakris is yours. You decided to take this mask into the Crucible only to feel like this thing is super overrated and sucks. And you do what most Guardians do. You hold that big delete button, right? But let me stop you there. Hold on before you delete the Mask of Bakris. The reason you clicked on this video is because you want to master it. I can promise you, by the end of this video, you will be a master at utilizing this exotic that you'll never want to go back to your stompies again. What's going on, guys? I'm BRAVExHERO and welcome back. Today, I've got a good one for you. We're going to be talking about the Mask of Bakris and talking about how to get the most out of this exotic. We're going to talk about mastery. Anybody can use an exotic, but it takes a great player to master it. But before we get into the video, if you're liking the edits, you're liking the videos, you're liking how fast I'm pumping these bad boys out, do me a huge favor and hit that thumbs up because it really helps the channel out. But without further delay, let's get into the video. Before we get into any of the tips and tricks, let's get into the exotic perk of the Mask of Bakris, which is going to be Light Shift. Replaces your stasis subclass dodge ability with a longer range, faster moving shift that partially cloaks you during use. Now, I'm not going to read the rest of it. The rest of it's for PvE, but for PvP, essentially, when you utilize this exotic and you use your dodge ability, you will be essentially blinking in that direction you utilize your shift. Now, before we get into any tips, let's get into the setup and the best usage for this exotic. Well, for starters, the Mask of Bakris. For those who don't know how to utilize it, when you use your dodge ability, you end up doing a little blink like this. You'll either blink forward or back. You can actually blink behind walls if you want. So if you run out of cover, you can always blink back. Now, a lot of people ask, Brave, I want to get better with this. I don't know how to use it properly. I'm blinking into people's faces and dying. How do I use this? My number one advice is go into Mayhem and just start messing around, start blinking over and over and over. Keep in mind that when you utilize your blink, you do have a cooldown of 10 seconds. Light Shift is active still for 10 seconds, so your ability to recharge will not begin till after those 10 seconds are over. Now, to get the most use out of this exotic, you're going to want to lower your mobility, which is going to be tied to your class ability, as low as possible. I have mine at a 100 stat. This is going to help me get my dodge ability back much quicker once Light Shift, the 10 seconds of the cooldown of Light Shift is over. Keep in mind, if you're going to go big brain like I did, guys, additional cooldown mods do not work. Perpetuation, which you can put on your cloak, does not work. And the reason for this, Bungie thought ahead. When you utilize the exotic perk, Light Shift is active for 10 seconds. And during those 10 seconds, your class ability will not charge. So cooldown mods do not work. I'm sorry. Now, setting this up for PvP, what aspects and fragments do we want to utilize? For the aspect, you're going to want to run Winter's Shroud. And this aspect is going to give you the ability of when you dodge near an enemy, you will slow them down. Now we want to amplify the slowdown effects, which you're going to want to run the fragment Whisper of Durance, which reads, slow from your abilities last longer. For those abilities that linger, their duration will also increase. Plus you get 10 to your strength. I feel like when you're utilizing the Mask of Bakris, you need Winter's Shroud and you need Whisper of Durance to get the most benefit out of it. Now you have everything set up. You're ready to go to PvP, right? You're ready to go into Crucible. Wait a minute. Let me show you the way not to use this exotic. As you can tell on screen, I'm showing this clip right here. When you utilize this exotic, you need to be close to your enemy to get the full effect. The reason for that is because when you use your dodge ability, you leave a trail. And a good player can track that trail and easily still gun you down. Again, the reason why I say you want to be up close and personal when utilizing this exotic is because you want the full slowed effect. When you are face to face with somebody and you dodge, you use the Mask of Bakris, you will slow them down, making this lingering slow effect on them. You get the advantage. But you're probably wondering, well, Brave, I also want to use it as an escape exotic, which you can. But if you're going to use it as an escape exotic, make sure you dodge into cover, you dodge away, because if someone is in front of you and they dodge, you are essentially just going to leave the trail and they'll track you. Now, how do we use this exotic in offense? It's very simple. What I found that helps me and works perfect for me is when I use the Mask of Bakris, I use Light Shift. When I dodge near my enemy and I cause the slow effect on them, I jump over their head. And the reason for this is when they're in the slow effect, their turn radius, all their movement has been slowed, so you want to get the advantage. The last thing you want to do is dodge near them and be next to them. So when you dodge, jump up in the air. Again, you can stay on the ground and still do work, but I found what really works for me is when I dodge, I jump up. Now I'm up in the air. Now they have to turn slowly and look for me. Now, one of the best things about this exotic is you can punish a shotgun player or any player trying to ape you down. And you do that by creating space. This exotic is great if you need to create that gap between you and that shotgun player. Maybe you pepper them with your shotgun, you use the Mask of Bakris, light shift behind them or forward, or create that gap to where you clean them up easily with your hand cannon or auto rifle. Something you want to try to get better at is when you're face to face with an enemy, you want to be able to use your dodge ability, dodge and get behind them. Utilize your movement to get behind them. They're going to be slowed and they're easy for a shotgun cleanup. This exotic works great for shotguns. Again, as you can tell on screen, when I dodge, I can get behind my enemy and easy for a cleanup there. This is why I recommend you go into Mayhem and you practice the movement to get better at it. Now, I'm sure you've seen some of the clips in the background and you're wondering, Brave, how do I engage multiple players? How are you engaging multiple people? What I found really works for me is dodging past the first enemy, causing them to slow. They're gonna wanna track me, so they're turning around. At the same time, I'm engaging the second enemy. My teammates behind me are gonna clean up the first enemy. As you can tell, you can see on screen there, I dodge past the first enemy and I go for the second, causing the first enemy to slow and letting my teammates capitalize on that kill. Now let me ask you, how many of you guys hate fusion rifles? How many of you hate Telesto? Telesto tilts you guys, or Jotun. The Mask of Bakris is great for fusion rifles. And the reason for this is due to their charge time. When they're charging up, you can time when they're gonna fire. At that time, you use your dodge ability, get behind them, get in their face, and capitalize on the kill. So if you load into a match, you're playing survival, and someone is just beasting you with Telesto, put on the Mask of Bakris and punish them. Show them what's up. Now let's move into defense. How do I use the Mask of Bakris in defense? Well, like I said, you can always use that as an escape ability, right? Or you can use it as a way to dodge out of abilities. If a Warlock is gonna freeze you or a Titan is gonna punch you, dodge out of it. As you can tell on screen, that Titan was gonna punch me, and just like that, I was gone. They missed their dodge, and I was easily able to get the kill on them. Or, again, if someone tries to hit you with a cold snap or a dust-filled grenade, you can easily dodge away from it, especially the dust fields. When that thing sucks you in, use the Mask of Bakris to just dodge away from it. Okay, I have to ask, how many times has a hunter just slammed you? They use the Drewski dunk on you. Probably often. It's PvP, let's be serious here. But with the Mask of Bakris, you can dodge away from the combo. You can dodge away from that wall slam and easily punish the player who did it. This is what I like about the Mask of Bakris. Another thing, guys, that's really awesome about this is if you were stuck in ice and you're about to die, you can easily use the Mask of Bakris to get into cover. Just as you can tell on screen, I was about to die right there. Mask of Bakris behind the wall, and I survived. Lastly, I love utilizing the Mask of Bakris as a way to bait abilities. Anybody with a Chaos Reach, anybody with a Warlock melee, or just grenades in general, what you want to do is peek from cover. Once they notice you, again, you see a Chaos Reach, someone's going to pop it on you. You Mask of Bakris behind cover and let them waste their abilities, giving you the upper hand. Overall, the Mask of Bakris is a top tier exotic. A lot of players aren't fans of it due to light shift having a 10-second cooldown on it. But again, if you get used to it, you can really do some work with it. This past weekend, I was streaming some trials and this is what I was utilizing, and people were freaking out because I was just breaking ankles left and right. Overall, if you haven't had time to master this, I recommend you do it. You're not going to regret it. Hopefully these tips really help you out. Remember, guys, if you enjoyed the video, you like the content, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps me out. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And like always, I'll see you guys in the next video.